Some movies just hit you hard. You go in expecting a hero, a champion for the truth, but then boom! By the third act, you realize the person you've been following isn't the hero at all. Or maybe they never were. You're left with this heavy, mixed emotion in your chest. You don't know who to root for anymore. You find yourself surrendering to the writer's play, forced to watch as the world stops being black and white and starts dissolving into a messy, uncomfortable gray. Some people love a clear-cut hero, someone whose moral compass always points north, no matter how strong the wind blows. But the truth is, life rarely hands us a map with clear borders. In reality, the line between the good guy and the villain isn't a wall, it's a fog. Today we're looking at films that refuse to give you a moral high ground. We are analyzing the why. Why do good people go cold? We're exploring stories where the protagonist descends into darkness, where the antagonist might actually be right, and where you are left wondering, if I were in their shoes, would I be any different? Please, if you haven't, click the like and subscribe button. Chapter 1, The Descent of the Saint. Michael Corleone, the Godfather. In The Godfather, we don't start with a monster. We start with Michael Corleone, a decorated war hero. He is the civilized Corleone, the one who tells his girlfriend, "That's my family, Kay. It's not me." But as the story unfolds, we watch a slow, chilling transformation. Michael's evil isn't born from greed or a love for violence. It's born from a distorted sense of loyalty. Psychologically, this is a profound study in moral justification. This is a cognitive process where an individual recontextualizes their harmful actions as serving a moral purpose. Michael convinces himself that his atrocities, the murders, the lies, are necessary to protect the family unit. From a sociological perspective, the film is a critique of the failed American dream. It argues that when the law and the state cannot protect you, you are forced to create your own law. By the time the credits roll, the war hero is dead. He's been replaced by a cold-blooded king who has saved his family's power, but lost the very soul he was trying to protect. He didn't break the law because he wanted to. He broke it because he believed it was the only way to survive. Chapter 2, The Predator of the System. Bong Joon-ho's Parasite is a masterclass in shifting perspectives. In the first half, the Kim family are our heroes. They are clever, resourceful underdogs, gaming a system that has ignored them. But then we meet the Park family. They aren't evil, they are kind, naive, and generous. So where does the villainy live? The unsettling truth is that there is no bad guy in Parasite. There is only a conflict of interest driven by class. This is a cinematic look at social identity theory. We are hardwired to favor our own in-group, our family, our class, to the point where we begin to dehumanize the out-group. The Kims aren't inherently evil, and the Parks aren't inherently cruel. They are all just living within a capitalist structure that acts like a pressure cooker. It's a system that forces one group to climb over the other just to see the sun. The coldness here isn't a personality trait, it's a survival mechanism. Chapter 3, Joker. Most comic book movies give us a villain to be defeated, someone to punch. Joker gives us a human to be pitied. We spend the first 2 acts witnessing Arthur Fleck's total humiliation. We see his mental illness, his isolation, and the systemic failure of a city that has cut off his help and his hope. This film leans heavily into social determinism, the theory that our actions are largely dictated by our environment and past experiences rather than free will. By the time Arthur commits his first murder on the subway, the audience has been psychologically primed to feel his release. This creates a state of cognitive dissonance in the viewer. We know intellectually that murder is wrong, yet because the film has forced us to live through Arthur's pain, we feel a dark, uncomfortable satisfaction in him finally standing up for himself. We aren't rooting for the murder, we are rooting for the man to stop being a victim, even if the only way out is through the abyss. Chapter 4, The Abyss of Policy. Alejandro and Matt, Sicario. In Sicario, the good guys wear badges. They are CIA operatives and elite soldiers. Their goal is noble, stop the cartels that are poisoning the streets. But their method is terrifying. They decide to become just as brutal, just as lawless and just as monstrous as the enemies they are fighting. This is a study of utilitarianism gone wrong, the philosophical idea that the greatest good justifies any means necessary to achieve it. The film uses Kate Macer as our moral proxy. Like her, we are horrified by the extrajudicial killings. But the film's villainous heroes, Alejandro and Matt, argue that the world isn't a playground. It's a wolf den. They suggest that goodness is a luxury that only people in safe, suburban homes can afford. On the front lines, you aren't a good man or a bad man. You are either a wolf or a sheep. It's a cold, hard look at how the pursuit of justice can eventually require the total sacrifice of morality. To Chapter 5, The Breaking Point. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. William Foster, Falling Down. Finally, we have Falling Down. William Foster isn't a kingpin, a spy, or a supervillain. He's an ordinary man. He's a guy who got stuck in traffic on a record-breaking hot day and simply decided he was going home. He spends his day lashing out at the small, irritating injustices of modern life. The overpriced soda, the rude service, the roads that are always under repair. This is a literal depiction of frustration-aggression theory. Foster feels that the social contract, the promise that if you work hard and follow the rules, you'll be okay, has been broken. The movie traps the viewer in an incredibly uncomfortable spot. In the beginning, you find yourself cheering for him when he stands up to a bully or a crooked store owner. But as the day goes on, you realize Foster hasn't found justice. He's just found an excuse to explode. He has become the very chaos he claimed to hate. It's a reminder that going cold often starts with a very relatable sense of being fed up. These films don't leave us with a happily ever after. They don't give us the satisfaction of the bad guy in handcuffs. Instead, they leave us with questions that linger long after the screen goes black. They remind us that the hero is often just the person we've decided to follow for 2 hours. And the villain, he's often just someone whose story we haven't heard yet. Someone who was pushed a little too hard, a little too long, until the warmth in them finally died out. Because in the real world, no one thinks they're the bad guy. Everyone is the hero of their own story, no matter how much blood is on their hands. This is not to justify bad acts or violations of any law, whether customary or religious. It is just a reflection. So next time you watch a movie and find yourself frustrated by a character's bad choices, ask yourself, is it their character that failed, or is it the world around them? And if your world started to tilt, how long would your anchor hold?